women, that's like the warning of like, anytime a guy says, hey, come on over, I'll cook for you. Warning to women, because every guy thinks they know how to cook the same way that every guy thinks he knows how to dance. So, all right, thank you.
Sorry about that. That's Zach Welch, ladies and gentlemen. Was it hard getting up for you this morning to get back to work? Same here. I know, you gotta go to work. I was like, I can't go in flannel shit. Anyway, folks, all right, we're down to your last two comics tonight, folks. Pleasure bringing both these gentlemen up here. We got the first of the two gentlemen coming up here. Anybody that's been coming up here for the last 2 years have seen this next gentleman. He's headlined Giuseppe's down in Haymarket. Recently completed the ASAP military program down at the DC Improv, folks. Pretty damn impressive. He's going to come up here and no doubt will impress you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your next comedian, Turk.
You guys are just too kind, I gotta tell you. You guys will keep ranking on me because of my fucking age, all right? Let's just be right up front. I'm 75. Right? Yeah, absolutely. But it's very important that I give you a disclaimer right up front. I've been recently diagnosed. Look at me, because you'll appreciate this, okay? I was recently diagnosed with CRSS, okay? Which is short for can't remember shit syndrome, okay? And as a comic, you know, it's not good because I'll be halfway through my bit, right? And I forget the punchline or the premise that I wrote down on that, and the sticky note, I forgot that, okay? But all in all, I should mention, okay, that I was just recently diagnosed with CRSS, which is short for can't remember shit syndrome. Yeah, it's something I'm dealing with, and I let me give you an example of what it's like when you have this. Last week, I had to call the cops on myself. Yeah, I walked out of Walmart and I thought somebody had heisted my ride. Yeah, that's right, buddy. I shop at Walmart. Okay? And so I call the police department, and the lady says, "Sir, can you tell me what type of vehicle it is?" And I says, "It's a Miata." And she says, "You know what color it is?" And I says, "It's green." And she says, "Do you have the tag number?" I said, "Wait a minute. It's Virginia 4GOT. No, that is the tag number." So the cop gets there, right? All right? And, you know, I was a cop for 34 years, all right? Retired Fairfax, did military time too. So, but when this cop showed up, I looked in his eyes, and I could tell, okay, that he looked at me the way I used to look at people like me when I was a cop. And he said, "Sir, is this your car?" And I said, "It is." Oh, I thanked that officer. Oh, I couldn't believe he found my car the way he did. But I'm going to tell you something right now. That cop went back. He spoke to everybody and anybody that would listen, okay? That he just ran into another Walmart savant, okay? Basically told him that he was a lifeguard at a car wash. Yeah, because as a cop, we would do that, okay? It's just a fact of life. But the other thing about when you get older, I mean, every time I go to the doctor, it's another episode of Antique Roadshow. The last time I went, the doctor told me they just discovered I have 3 testicles. 3 testicles. And I immediately thought back to the time that me and Marty were working a homicide, and we had to go up to Jersey and look for a dead body in a nuclear waste plant. But to be honest with you, okay, knowing Jersey the way I do, that could have been the entire fucking state. I'm telling you, it's bad up there. But, so I tell the doc, I said, what am I? I says, is this a circus sideshow or am I a medical marvel? So he says, I've seen better sideshows. See, everyone's a fucking comic, right? Okay? So I said, what's gonna happen next? My kidneys are gonna juggle stones. My bladder and my spleen are gonna be doing card tricks. I said, who knew that when we get older, okay, your body, okay, becomes a talent show? Oh, I'm telling you. You know, here's the deal. You know, I can't hear out of one ear, okay? And I'm deaf in the other. No, it's true, okay? I went in to take a hearing test, okay? I went to fucking Miracle Ear, all right? And, you know, they put me in the booth. Now, you know, I'm claustrophobic, so I had to man up for that, okay? But they got the window there, so I was able to manage myself, all right? And, you know, it was kind of iffy because I didn't have an opportunity to fucking study. So I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, right? But I'm in there and I'm doing the test, right? And they do this, and then, you know, you get the... So when I'm all done, I come out, I think I did really good, because, you know, I'm fucking concentrating when you're in there to hear the fucking... Anyway, I sit down, and he says, Turk, he says, I gotta tell you, you know, your right ear, you have severe hearing loss. And I'm like, fuck, severe hearing loss? He goes, yeah. And I says, what about the left ear? He says, you have profound hearing loss. I said, what the fuck? Now, you know, you would think, right? Like, severe is the worst that you can get, okay? And then you find out that my other ear is profound hearing loss. I said, this isn't fair. I said, because I've never done anything profound in my life, okay? But now I can show my ear off, okay? That's profound. And then, here's something I want to tell you guys. I don't know if I have enough time, but in 2015, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, okay? Hey, relax. It's no big deal because, see, prostate cancer is the slowest growing cancer there is, all right? And so, I do the kind of the sit and wait, but they did a biopsy on me, and they found that one of my quadrant, okay, had like 5% cancer. So I'm thinking, no big deal. And so 2019, they did another biopsy, okay? They didn't find nothing. 2021, did another biopsy, didn't find anything. 2024, they find another Scotia bit of cancer, okay? So now, they combine those two, all right? And they tell me that I have a Gleason score of 6. Now, I'm talking to the doctor about some serious shit here because it's cancer. And when they told me that I had a Gleason score of 6, I got this big grin over my face. And the doc says, what's so funny? I said, well, you're not a comic, but this is exactly what I was thinking at the time. Norton! I know that you know that I know that you wanna fuck me in the ass. Hey, Ruffy, that's true. Oh. All right, guys, I'm done. Now let's give it up for J&D and all you guys.